how do I get my hydrangea to bloom? And this is from John. It's another question that we get often at the extension office. So,
okay.
What do you think about that?
Usually it's because it's in the wrong place. You know, we talked about earlier how our ground here tends to freeze and thaw repeatedly. Hydrangeas do much better north of here or south of here than they do here. This is the worst place to try to grow them.
Better north, south.
Better north or south. If the ground stays frozen, they don't sprout until after it gets warm. If the ground never freezes, they bloom without much damage because there's usually not any frost. But here we typically have a frost when that ground's beginning to warm up. And if that bud, even though you cannot see a flower, if you're seeing green and get a frost on it, it will blast that flower apart inside that bud. And when it opens up, leaves out, looks beautiful, but you get no flower. That's the reason here we've always told people to plant hydrangeas on the north side of the house. Had nothing to do with the shade, had to do with that being the coldest ground and the last to warm up in the spring. That delays that bud swell, and so you're much more likely to have flowers. Now, you know, a lot of the newer ones are rebloomers. So you actually, if you lost your first one, you'd get a second crop of flowers a little later. But even there, they're not the number or the size or the quality of the ones you get early in the season. So, yeah, usually that's the issue. It's just in the wrong place. Avoid morning sun if at all possible.
I'm gonna put you on the spot though.
All right.
Okay. But what about pruning?
Okay, all right.
Can we talk a little bit about pruning?
Absolutely.
When to prune?
Right.
Which type?
Okay,
which
if you're talking about the ones we call Mopheads here, the blues, the pinks, and that sort of thing, okay, let them, when the flower just begins to pass its peak, okay, it's beginning to lose its color, that's the time to prune. That's reach way down in the plant and cut those canes off just like we would do in the Andina down low and let them fill back up through there, okay? You cannot prune it anytime after about July 1, okay, because then the buds are actually beginning to form for the following year. So you cut in September to level the thing off, you're not going to have any flowers the next year because the new growth that does come out is going to get zapped in the fall before it ever forms a flower. All right, so right after that. Now, if they're the summer blooming ones, or the PGs or Paniculata grandiflorus that bloom in the summertime, typically have white that mature to green or like limelight or mature to red like firelight and some of those. Those bloom on first year wood. So right now, I just pruned mine about a week ago. Early in the spring, cut them off the ground. They will get 6-10 feet tall by the end of the season and have these magnificent, huge, big flowers. If you don't trim them back, you'll get more flowers, but they tend to be really small ones, clusters of small like that. So if you really want the spectacular flowers, whack them off just like you would a butterfly bush, 8 to 10 inches off the ground, and they'll come right back for you and bloom great.
Hope you enjoyed the video. We would love to get more questions from you. So be sure to leave us some comments.